Good morning, my loves. Welcome to my channel and welcome back to yet another video. If you are new to this channel, my name is Thato, well known as the ladies mom. If you are returning, thank you so much for your continuous support. I really appreciate it. Few things to note. I drop new videos every Sunday and Wednesday morning. All you have to do is please watch from the beginning up until the end. Like, comment, share with your friends and family, and if you like, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button. It looks like somebody has started gardening, so I'm just gonna close a few windows so that we don't get distracted. So give me a second while you're watching the intro.
This woman is chosen. The windows of heaven are open to her, and blessings are poured out to her, more than she could ever receive. She walks by faith, not by the obstacles standing in front of her today. The Lord makes her a leader and not a follower.
Yo, now that the windows are closed, it's so hot in here. But without wasting any time, today's sit-down video, it is all about cabin crew. I've been getting a lot of questions regarding this topic, mainly because I was once a cabin crew for Qatar Airways. But before I tell you a little story about that, I just want to go through few key information that you need to know in case you're considering to become a cabin crew member, or you have siblings or cousins or friends with kids that want to be a cabin crew member, who wants to walk the journey, who really want to take it as a career. So I've got few important information that you can take note of before considering the journey of being a cabin crew. So I'm going to start with the basics, just explaining what is cabin crew. I do have actually my notes here. So in this video I will separate it in few sectors. So the first one will be what is cabin crew. The second one, what do airlines look for, and then the qualifications and the requirements that they need, and also cabin crew training, pay, benefits, and lastly I will go in a life of a cabin crew member from morning up until late at night. So without rambling too much, let's get into the key information, or rather the facts around being a cabin crew member. So my love, we're gonna start with the basics. What is cabin crew? Basically, a flight attendant, traditionally known as air steward or stewardess, air host or air hostess. I think we know the air hostess one. So if you're a female, you'll be an air hostess, and if you're a male, you'll be an air host. So you are basically a member of the air crew on board commercial flights or business jets if you're lucky to be working with jets. So yeah, I think as the years went by, the how you address or how you call a cabin crew member, it started from steward to a host. Now you are part of the cabin crew. So basically that's the simple way of defining cabin crew. We are now going to move on to what airline companies look for. So I've got few points. If you can grab a notebook and let's jot down these important points that airlines look for. So the first one, you must be fluent in written and spoken English. You must be able to communicate and write in English. If you know other languages, it's a plus. It puts you on a better position to be a potential candidate. And you must be a natural team player. Being a cabin crew is all about working with others, and if unfortunately you cannot work with others, it's gonna be difficult for you to do your duties, and you must have a charming personality. This is very important because you are faced with a lot of challenges on board, from a passenger not knowing where to sit when it's straightforward, to a child crying throughout the whole flight, and you have to comfort other passengers. So your charming personality sometimes come into play when you are faced with a very challenging customer. Your charming personality can somehow change how the person behaves if they are generally a challenging or slash difficult passenger. So the other point, you must be 1.6 tall. These are your physical ability of doing the work. 1.6 tall, because that's the minimum, and I am 1.6, so I just barely made it when I was working with airline. The reason why you need to be tall enough is because you have to be able to reach the overhead. Overheads are the compartment where passengers put their bags that they carry on board, so that they put them there, and then you must be able to grab and close them. That's the reason, and yeah, that's what they say, and we're gonna stick to it. So the minimum height, you must be 1.6 going up. And then we're moving on to another point. If you are aiming to work for international airlines, of course you need to have a passport. With the passport, you need to have a visa for that particular country. Going to other countries, you don't really have to worry about it, because when you become part of the crew, as you travel from country to country, we travel under, it's like a list that they call it a DG, where they know that you're here at work. You don't have to have visas for all those countries. So let's move on to the next point. So the next point, you must be able to swim. You need to know how to swim, because it's part of the training. We'll speak more about it when it comes to training. You need to know, because you know accidents do happen, and unfortunately learning how to swim, or rather knowing how to swim, is very crucial as part of the requirements that are needed. Sorry guys, it's so hot. I opened the sliding door because I can't handle the heat, so there'll be some sound coming out from the road. I do apologize. So the other thing that airline don't really tell you about this, but honestly you need to be in great shape. Your weight needs to be at least 65 down. They won't say it in black and white, they won't write it in black and white for obvious reasons, but you need to be in good shape. If you weigh 65 down, you stand a better chance of being a potential candidate, mainly because it's giving them an illusion that you take care of yourself, you're eating healthy, you're exercising I would say a healthy lifestyle. So for them, cabin crew, you know, you work extremely hard, long hours. So as someone who is not in great shape might find difficulties doing the job basically. So those are the few tips that airlines, or rather facts that airlines look for. If you want more information, guys, honestly, down below comment section, let's talk. And then now we are going to move on to the next point, which is the qualifications / the requirements that you have to become a cabin crew member. So we're moving on to the next one. So this will be the qualifications that you must have in order for you to become a cabin crew. So the first one will be, you need to be at the minimum age of 21 years old. You need to have at least 1 year experience in hospitality and customer service experience. If you have been in retail, you have been in any job that basically gives you an experience of working with customers or passengers, it really does help a lot. And a minimum height of 1.6, we've already spoken about this one. And you need to have at least your education, you need to have at least a matric. There's no course or diploma or degree to be part of cabin crew. With your matric certificate, it can get you in. And this one also, the airlines won't tell you, but do not have visible tattoo on your body. If you have a tattoo on your neck, a tattoo on your thigh, tattoo on your arm, it might limit your chances of becoming cabin crew. Remember, they're looking for a healthy lifestyle practice, and unfortunately some of the airlines, like I worked for Arab Airlines, tattoos were a no-no. Also, the last point, you need to be willing to relocate. You never know. I started at SAA, which was home-based, but a lot of things happened there, hence I joined Qatar Airways. Qatar Airways, your base will be in Doha, Qatar, in the Middle East. That's where your base will be based, meaning your home, your temporary home. So you need to be able to relocate. If you're working for Emirates, you need to be able to, or rather willing to relocate to the Emirates, Dubai and Bahrain, those areas. So those are I'll say the qualifications that one needs to become a cabin crew member. Remember, some people prefer to go for training so that when the airline trains you, you at least have some knowledge. But it is not a must to go for training before you apply, because the airline does train you. And I know that those training centers, they become extremely expensive. So don't waste your money. You just have to be 21 years old above, have 1 year experience in hospitality, and have customer service. Minimum education, your matric will get you in. Your height, don't have any visible tattoos on your body, and be willing to relocate. Those are the qualifications you need. Anything besides this will just be a cherry on top. It's not necessary. Let's talk about cabin crew training. Cabin crew training is very important for an airline to train every single cabin crew member before operating on any commercial or business jets. This is basically where they teach you everything you need to know about the job, and also the safety part of the job. So the training takes about 6 months. It can also take 3 months depending on where you are. For example, when I got to Qatar, I did 3 months because I was at SAA, where I did my full training. So I was not coming in as an ab initio. Ab initio basically meaning that you know nothing. I was coming fast tracked because I did have training before, but the company needs to also train you just to make sure that you tick the box of yes, we did train her. So for an ab initio, meaning a first timer, the first training, it's called induction experience. It takes about 3 days. Basically, induction, it is introduction into the industry. They will give you information to the basics of what is cabin crew, what are your requirements, what are your responsibilities. So it only takes 3 days, and then from there you move on to safety and emergency. Safety and emergency, this is where it takes 13 days, because here you do the fire drill, you do the swimming, ditching. Swimming, they call it ditching. This is where now you are into a simulator and you have to crash into a swimming pool, which will be your ocean, and then now you need to be able to survive and help passengers to survive the crash. With the fire, in case there's fire on board, you train also in a simulator with the real fire. In case there's a fire on board, how do you handle it, from finding out the source to extinguishing the fire without the fire destroying the aircraft to the point of no repair. And also passengers will be screaming, and you need to calm them as you are calming yourself as you are fighting the fire. Guys, I'm gonna close the door because I can't handle the noise. Sorry my loves. Someone is doing garden, and my goodness, they're going in. So we're gonna move on to the next, the third training. This one will be group medical training. It takes 5 days to do medical training. Basically, in this training, they teach you CPR, split, fire. Fire, it will be in 2 ways. It will be first distinguishing the fire, and then in the medical, in case the fire got to a passenger, how now do you help the passenger to manage the burned wound. CPR, if there is any passenger that collapse on board, you need to be able to resuscitate. Splint just means in case something, for some odd reason, someone gets a sprain or they break an arm or a leg, you need to be able to support enough for the plane to land, and then the medical team will be waiting on the ground. And also we get trained to become midwives. This training was so hectic for me because it was like not necessarily a culture shock, but it was a shock in the sense that I've never seen a video of a lady giving birth natural. So you can imagine at that age, here's a screen of a lady giving birth natural, and you need to learn how to help the mother give birth to their precious baby on board. Why we go through this training, it is very important because some people board the train. Did I say the train, child? Some people board the plane pregnant, some heavily pregnant. But remember, the ground staff, they need to profile each and every person that is coming on to the aircraft to find us. Firstly, you're not supposed to, there's a limit of a pregnant woman. There's a limit that you need to that they set for a pregnant woman to fly. Once you are above that limit, you are not able to fly because it's a risk. But some people, they carry very small, they make it to the flight with the hopes of, you know, not being caught. However, nature is nature, and when the baby is coming, the baby is coming. So they train us how to become midwives for those incidents in case a mother did went past ground staff, they make it to the cabin. Now mid-air, the baby wants to come out, we are trained to help mommy give birth. So that was hectic. So you must prepare yourself to that training. And then we're gonna move on to our fourth training, which is the security training. This one takes 2 days. Security training, basically they just teach you self-defense. Sometimes you board a plane and from Ibiza, passengers from Ibiza or to Ibiza, they start the party in an aircraft. Passengers going to Miami, they start the party in the aircraft. And unfortunately, when alcohol is being served on board, alcohol treats us different. I might drink alcohol and I'm still calm. Other people drink alcohol and they become rowdy to the point of no control. They become violent, they become destructive to other passengers. So we are taught to handle those kind of situations. Some passengers do have a they're frightened of flying or heights. Therefore, once that fear comes upon them, they act differently, and we are, you know, required to protect ourselves and other customers around. So we are taught how to restrain an unruly passenger, we are taught how to defend ourselves in case the unruly passenger becomes violent. So that is the security training, and also profiling them before they walk in. As you are walking in the flight, as we are smiling, we're not just only smiling, we are looking at you from head to toe, checking your hips. Do you have a gun? Do you have, in case you've missed, or rather the ground staff security missed all of those things. So we do the final checks, and sometimes of course people are creative. They get on board with a dangerous weapon or a sharp tool, and unfortunately mid-air with alcohol or whatever, yeah, hell breaks loose, and we are trained to protect ourselves. And then the fifth training that we do is hospitality training. Hospitality training, basically now we're becoming waiters and waitresses. This is the part where we are trained to prep meals, to heat meals, to also serve meals, serve alcohol, serve wine. So we go into intense training. It's not just chicken or beef. We go in intense training of a diet. Also the culinary chef will come and explain each and every dish in case a passenger says, what do I have on my plate before opening it. You need to know if it's a beef dish, what are the sides, and also the dessert. And yeah, so you need to know, not just open, you'll see. No, you need to be able to say, ma'am, today's dinner, it is beef fillet with mashed potatoes and whatever that might be in the plate. So you need to know off by heart, and you need to be able to tell it, because some passengers are kosher. They will like kosher meal or vegetarian. Oh, I almost said something. Or vegetarian meals. So for you knowing prior, then they can say no thank you, I would like to skip before they open, and then you can still give the same plate to another passenger because it was not open. So it also helps to manage if the customer is gonna like the meal. Did I say customer? Oh my gosh, if the passenger is gonna like the meal or not. So it's very nice. But then when it comes to training for the drinks, we are trained or rather taught how to mix cocktails. If someone on board says, can I please have a mojito, you need to know the ingredients and how to cook up a mojito. Cosmopolitan, this is business class and first class. Economy, I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you a can of Coke and a bottle of water. But when you move on to business and first class, if a passenger says, may I kindly have a cosmopolitan and margarita, we are trained to mixology, to mix those drinks up. And then champagnes, we are also taught the year, the region, all about it. Before I pour, I need to tell you, ma'am, this is LP champagne from the land of Champagne, 19 whatever, it was fermented, You need to know all of those, especially for business and first class passengers. Wines are very important as well. You need to know which grape, vineyard, the year, fermentation process, not in detail, but the basics, just so that, you know, some passengers love their wines. They want to know what they're drinking, from which region, of what year. So it's very nice, but it's quite hectic, because here, this is where you pay attention to details. Like, you have to be pay attention to details to the T. Sorry my love, my dog was going crazy. So the final training that we go underway will be the uniform and service training. Uniform, basically they just show you how to wear the uniform, what items go together, basically, because it's very important when you step in the briefing room before you go on to your flight. I'll speak more about the briefing room. you need to be in uniform. Uniform meaning all the cabin crew who are in economy, you need to look the part. Business class, you need to look the part, and first class, you need to look the part, and also our superiors needs to look the part. It's always uniform, we look the same. Of course, only when the service part comes in, that's where we differ, because the service in economy class is different from business and first class, and hence in the economy class we'll wear aprons because we're about to work as we are doing the service. But in business class, aprons are different because of the level, and of course in first class it's also different. So those are the training, and once you have done all these trainings, now the airline will give you a certificate, also a license. The license basically having all your certificates. If it's induction, it will have induction certificate. Safety and emergency, it will have the certificate. Medical will have certificate. Security, hospitality, also the uniform, they note what they gave you when. Also, it's another way of monitoring your lifestyle, because if in January they give you a size 30, and then in come June you want a size 34, you see. So it's part of monitoring, but you know, every airline have their own way of doing things, but these are just the small and unwritten things that you need to monitor. And also they check if they give you a uniform in January and then you require a full set in June, like that means you're not taking care of your uniform, because they will give you free passes to go to dry clean. So if you choose to wash your clothes with the washing machine and then they get ruined, then it just indicates to them that you're not taking care of your uniform. And yeah, let's move on to the next point. So my love, this point is quite exciting. We're now going to talk about the pay, salary, and benefits. So the starting salary, it's not only just salary. So as a flight attendant, you don't only get salary. You get your salary and your flying hours pay. The salary will be your basics, and then your flying hours will be, I just can't remember how they calculated, but for example, if you are flying from SA or Tambo to Brazil, they'll calculate those hours, and then per hour they'll say they give it of you being on flight, not necessarily on ground. The minute the flight takes off, like the wheels are not touching the runway, we start counting up until the wheel touch down at the destination, then we stop counting. So those hours, they will say per hour they're gonna give you 200 rands or 200 dirhams or whatever their currency is. Then together with your basic salary, they're gonna add those hours together every month. Then you get, your money. So if your salary, because I remember personally, my basic salary used to be 24K when I was fresh from training, because they differ. If you're fresh from training, you've got a different salary, then it goes up as you go. So 24K was my base, and then my flying hours, it was 325 per hour. So for example, if now I've got 24K, I'm talking rands now, 24K, I'm just gonna go into my calculator. Let's just say I'm flying from South Africa to, not even South Africa, let's just say we're flying from Doha to Brazil, flight time. So Doha to Brazil will give you approximately, if you're going to Sao Paulo, that will give you 15 hours. So now I will take my 300 325 times 15 hours. Now that will be 4,800. So that will be for that flight only. So me leaving Doha to Sao Paulo on that trip, it will give me 4,800. And mind you, I still need to come back. So we times that by 2, that will be 9,700 rands. There are some flights, especially long haul meaning more than they are more than 3 hours, they're classified as long haul. Then that's where they start counting. But if I'm leaving from Doha to Dubai, which is like basically leaving Johannesburg to Durban, we don't count that because it's not long haul, that is short haul. We don't count it. But for long haul, you count it. So together with my 24K, I will have the 9,700. Or if I have 3 long hauls for that month, then I'll put it together. It will be included into my salary package, and that's what I will take at month end. So now let's just say I only did 1 long haul on that month. It will be 9,700 plus 24,000, and then my salary for that month will be 33,700. This is quite good, guys. I have never, even till now, well, till 2018, I never found a job that paid me this much. Only post in 2021 I got into business, and of course that's a different scenario, but then it's quite a good start, especially if you're still young. You can save a lot of money. You can come back, if you went internationally, you can come back home and you can really, buy yourself an apartment and a reliable car, and you can live very well. What I used to do, I used to take my money, or rather some of my salary, because you don't get sorry guys, I used to take some of my salary, put into my South African account, of course after giving my mom something, and yeah, and I saved quite nice money for when I was done with the cabin crew job. Then I came back home and lived comfortable, and it's been so ever since. My camera is overheating. We're gonna take 5. Sorry my loves, my camera was overheating, so I'm just gonna run through the benefits very quickly before it overheats again. So benefits, first benefit will be the staff travel benefits. You will get up to 70% off your flight tickets in case you are on your vacation and you need to fly anywhere in the world. The airline will give you 70% discount to fly with them to your destination. The second benefit will be you can travel for free on a jump seat. Basically, a jump seat, it is a seat where the cabin crew sit during takeoff and landing. Sometimes there will be 2 or more jump seats. Sorry guys, there's a helicopter flying by. I hope you can still hear me. Sometimes there will be 2 or more jump seats available, and you can basically check in as normal, but when you get to the aircraft, you don't go sit with the passengers, you go sit with the cabin crews. So that's also a very nice benefit. Then the only thing you need to focus on, especially when you're going on a vacation, you can only focus on your hotel and your excursions, because you've saved about 70% of the ticket cost. Second benefit, accommodation. When you work for international company like I did, you get accommodation for absolutely free. So basically accommodation, they'll give you a villa. A villa will be a 2-bedroom villa. Why am I saying a villa? It's more like an apartment, but how it's built is like a villa. You share with your colleague or whoever they pay you with. I was paired up with a lady called Dambi. She is from Korea, so we shared the apartment together. And the layout of the apartment, as you open the main door going into the villa, it'll be the common space, open plan, kitchen, dining room, sitting room, patio, very modern, very luxurious. And then as we go into our bedrooms, and I open my bedroom door, and the bedroom door, look at it as an executive hotel room, where as you open, it'll be your walkway. You go into a sort of like a lounge with a TV, and then as you walk in, it's your walk-in closet and your bathroom, and then the final room will be your bedroom, where you also have a TV, a bedroom, a little couch. So it's basically a villa. And then when you go to the other side, she also, as she walks in, it's the same way. But then if you choose, sometimes if you don't want to hang out in your room, you can hang out with the common space. You can invite friends and just be. So the kitchen, dining, sitting area, and the patio, that will be our common space that I and her use together. If she has friends and they don't want to sit in their room, they can do that. Or in case we both have friends at the same time, one can sit in the room. Mind you, the room also have a balcony with patio furniture, so it was really a lovely space, and you get that for free. You pay absolutely nothing, and the accommodation also have uncapped Wi-Fi, also to of course stream. Because basically we'll have about, in my room, I'll have a TV across my bedroom, a TV in my living room, and there'll be a TV in the common space, and so forth. So there'll be like 5 TVs that we can stream, our phones, of course. That was really nice. The other benefit will be transportation. So when you leave the accommodation going to work, you don't pay for accommodation, because every 15 minutes at the bus station, not so far from your accommodation, will be literally like down, 3 doors down, there will be a bus stop. Every 15 minutes the bus will stop, taking you from your accommodation to the headquarters, where you will be signing in for your work for that day. So you don't pay absolutely nothing. The other benefit will be uniform. You do not pay for uniform. They give you uniform absolutely free, and also with the uniform there will be stations at the crew village of dry clean, free dry clean. You just drop it off and then you pick it up, and it's absolutely free. What I used to do before my flight, I will drop off my dirty uniform, and I go for my flight. After 2 or 3 days I come back, I drop the other one, then I pick up the other one. So it'll be like a nice cycle, so you don't have to wash your uniform yourself. The only thing you wash at your accommodation, because we used to have washing machine, dryer, dishwasher, the works. So it'll be your casual clothing that you normally wear as you go into the mall or going for excursions. Yeah, so the other benefit will be medical aid and insurance. So we used to have life insurance. As you bouncing from continent to continent, your life is covered, your medical is covered, and your dental is covered. Mind you, your medical is not for you to go get a BBL. Your dental is not for you to go get what do you call, veneers. No, it's just for general health matters like cough, fever, wisdom tooth here and there. So yeah, those kind of things. And then also the major benefit will be crew promotions, because as you start from your training, you start working in economy, and then with of course time, and you get promoted to work at premium economy. With time you get promoted to work at business class. With time you get promoted to work at first class, and then when you work at first class, from time to time they will elect you to work or to serve the pilots. So the pilots will be like the high ranking class, and then yeah, because you don't work as much if you are assigned to the pilots, you just they will tell you. You don't have to go into the cockpit and say, do you want water, do you want this? They'll literally just call you. Basically you just have to be on standby for a call, in-flight call. Hey, can I please have a glass of juice? Can I please have this? Can I please have that? Which is nice, because you don't have to run around like the rest of the crew trying to serve passengers. So you just wait on the pilots to let you know, and then of course flying at or rather serving the pilots, sometimes you can be assigned to a first class seat, and then so that the pilot can call you directly into your seat. so that they can say, hey, can you, which is nice. It's very nice. Now let's move on to our last part, which is a day in a life of a cabin crew from morning till late. So let's get into it. So guys, on this part of this video, it is a day in the life of a cabin crew. So basically this is my experience, what I used to do. I think I still remember some, and if I do forget, I will just in another video or follow-up video I will let you know. So this is based on my experience, what I used to do. So depending on my call time, I will wake up in the morning, of course, shower, get dressed, have breakfast. Sometimes depending where I'm going, I will make lunch. Yes, I will make iskaftina because it gets expensive eating, or rather trying to eat out in different countries. For example, I used to, or rather there's one time I had a flight to Manchester in the UK. I didn't pack lunch, so we were going for, we had a day there. We had a day. So normally what you do to minimize costs, guys, honestly, I mean, you are at work, you're not trying to live large all the time. Sometimes, yes, as a life, as a cabin crew, your life is luxurious. Your life is, it's all about lifestyle. So, but sometimes to save costs, you don't really have to. For example, we flew from Doha to Manchester, and then from there we did airport clearance, and we took a bus to our hotel. When we get to our hotel, they gave us our hotel rooms. You do not share, each person get hotel room. Depending on your ranking, you get a hotel room accordingly, but sometimes they'll just give us same standard room, sometimes executive rooms, and of course the pilots gets the best rooms every time. So you get to your hotel room. Let's just say you check in at, and the time now it is let's say it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So when you get to hotel, of course you will take off your uniform and pack whatever you need to pack according to you. You know, when you check in a hotel, you do what you have to do. You take a shower. So what I used to do, I'll take a shower, and from there I'll just sit on the bed and I'll eat my lunch that I packed from my accommodation back in Doha, because we flew overnight, and then now morning, and then by the time we get to our hotel room, you are tired. All you need to do is rest. So one, I will eat my lunch on my bed, relaxing. From there I'll take a nap, then I'll wake up for dinner. That's when I'll spend money. Or I will have my lunch if it's exciting, an exciting location or destination. From showering, you hit the road, you're going to explore. Exploring comes with shopping, comes with eating, comes with this and this, so you'll spend a lot of money. But then if you pack lunch, after showering, I'll have my lunch. Then when I go for an excursion, I'm not hungry, meaning I'm not buying impulsively. Then I'll just focus on what I need to. If it's sightseeing, then I'll go straight into sightseeing. By the time it is time to go back to the hotel, then I just go to the hotel restaurant, which is normally cheaper than outside. Then I'll have my meal, because we do have discounts. Wherever we stay, we'll have discounts of the restaurant and the spa. Then I'll have my meal on discounted price. Then I'll go to sleep in the morning. Then I will, get ready for a flight, then fly back home. So it saves money as well. So we're going back to making lunch, and then the second thing that we'll do, you will pack your carry-on bag. So part of your uniform, you get 2 bags. You get a carry-on bag. Carry-on bag meaning is that smaller bag that you take on the aircraft. It's those small bags. And then you also get a luggage bag, which is the big one that gets checked in, and you find it, of course, when you land. So I will pack my carry-on bag, and then if it's a long haul, I'm gonna be at the destination for more than 1 day, then I'll pack my luggage bag. So in my luggage bag, I will have extra clothes to wear, when I am in that country. Sometimes you have a full day of just doing absolutely nothing, and the next day you have another day only at night in the evening. That's when you get ready to go on your flight going back to your base. So you sort of have 2 days, and sometimes you want to have outfits to take pictures in different countries, different locations, different excursions. It's also nice memories to keep. Yeah, so you pack extra clothing, extra handbags, whatever that you need, and of course your toiletries. Then when I'm done packing both my bags, I'm dressed, I've eaten my breakfast. Now I will drag my bags out of my apartment. I will lock my room, and I will lock, actually the main door to the villa, you don't have to lock. As you close it, it will lock automatically, but when you're inside, the door mechanism is the one that you have to, I don't know the name, but then if you, sometimes you lock yourself. If you don't leave, if you leave your key in the apartment, and then you come out of the front door and the door slams, opening it, you require a key. So we've locked ourselves quite a lot of time with that until we got used to it. So I will lock, and then I will walk into to the bus stop. The bus stop, as I said, it will stop there every 15 minutes so that you're not late. Then I get into the boat. I will board onto the bus. Then the bus will take me to my headquarters. I get to my headquarters. The first thing I'm greeted with are computer screens. As you walk in the headquarters, you will go into the cabin crews section. When you enter the cabin crew section, that's where you report for duty. You are meted by computer screens. That's where now you are signing in, and signing in, it's just mainly saying I am present, I have arrived, I am healthy to take on today's task. And that's where they monitor you. Okay, fine, you were scheduled to be on this flight, you come in on time. And then from there I check in my bag, my big luggage bag myself. Then I get the slips, and then I attach it to my luggage. I let my luggage go, and then from there, whatever that I have, I take it, and then I go into a briefing room. Briefing room is mainly a boardroom where now you're going to meet all the people you're gonna fly with for that flight. So it'll be the people from economy class, premium economy, business class, first class, and your superiors. The pilots, we don't meet them at briefing. Most of the time, we will meet them when we get to the aircraft, because they also have their own briefing. The co-pilot and the pilot and the engineer, and sometimes they'll have a fourth person, I forgot. They have their own briefing for that flight, and we'll have our briefing. So basically in briefing, we will do the security checks, we will do where we're flying, information, who is going where, and then our superior will now give us positions of, you are in premium economy on this door or that door. As you all know, the aircraft has different doors across, so those doors, they need at least 2 people. If it's a big jet like a Boeing or an Airbus, you need 2 people each door. That will be your partner for the day. And whichever section you are assigned, you need to know everything about where to find the fire extinguisher, where to find the medical aid, where to find the life jackets, where to find anything really that's related to your training. Remember the initial training of your induction, security, CPR, all of those training. They will have specific areas. If it's a medical kit, it will be placed in a specific area. If it's a fire extinguisher, whatever that you need, everything on the aircraft has its own place. So you need to know all of that. And sometimes your superior will ask you random questions just to make sure that you know the aircraft you're going in. So before you actually go on your flight, you need to do a study first. Okay, I'm flying on a Airbus. Okay, the Airbus has so, you will know. Going into details will make this video long. So you know each and everything about your aircraft, how many doors and how many air extinguishers, where do you find them, at what seat do you find what. So it's very important to study every single time you go on a flight, because they can just ask you random questions and you not be able to answer them. It might raise a red flag that you did not do your training, and sometimes they will send you back to training, and that it's just mess up your flying times and your experience, because now you're gonna go for 2 weeks for training just so that you do a refresher, because it gives the impression that you did not finish your training, or you can't remember your training, and it's very dangerous for a cabin crew member to not know, because in case of an emergency, we won't be thinking in a calm manner. So you need to be able to perform under pressure. So yeah. And then once we are done with our briefing together as a team, sometimes it will be like 20 of us, we will go straight to security checks. Security checks is the same as you guys when you go through security checks before you go in onto your gate to board your aircraft. We also go through security gate where we put our bag, they scan our bag, we go under the electric thingy, they scan us to make sure that we are fine. But then actually no, I missed the point. Before you go to a security checkpoint, we have to go to a beauty checkpoint where they check if my makeup is done correctly, do I have my hair correctly, is my blush blushing enough, is my lipstick lipsticking enough. Yes, it's a thing. You go through beauty check, and then from beauty check you go to your security check, and then at security check you wait for your bus together as a team. Then you go on to the aircraft, and then when you get to the aircraft, because the superior told you where you'll be working, immediately when you get to your aircraft you go straight to your section, you do the pre-flight checks. That's where you check if here an extinguisher needs to be here, then that's when you check if the extinguisher is there. If it's a medical kit, you check if the medical kit is there, and if the medical kit is not there, we have the ground staff coming on board with us. So if something is missing, you let them know before the flight takes off, then they will make sure that that particular item is there. And then from there we go into the galley. The galley is the kitchen of the aircraft. From that we check if we have enough stock, we have enough cool drinks, wine, whatever, ice, you know, are the meals there, you know, because each section they'll give you are responsible for 25 or 35 passengers. So in your galley you need to have, you know, matching meals. There's nothing frustrating like you not having enough meals, because who must not eat now, you know what I mean? So it used to be so frustrating. So part of your pre-flight checks, you need to check if you have enough meals for everyone. You have ice, you have milk, coffee, whatever that you're gonna need for your service, excuse me, you need to check if it's there. And then once the pre-flight checks are done, your superior will do spot checks, and then from there we change our uniform, mainly our shoes, now from high heels to flats when we're doing the pre-flight checks. When the pre-flight checks are done, we put on high heels, we welcome you on board. Once you're on board, we do our checks, we profile you. Are you gonna be a problem? Are you gonna be a nice passenger? If there's kids, we give them toys. If there's a mother with a baby, we'll give them a bassinet, but we only set it up when the flight is, you know, it's already on cruise control. And then we'll take care of the kids, we'll take care of the babies, we'll take care of the elderly, the disabled, making sure that they are okay, checking that the bags are not on the floor, making sure that the flight now it is ready for takeoff. So now when all the checks and the profiling are done, then our pilot will tell us, cabin crew, sit down for takeoff. That's when we rush to our jump seats, we buckle ourselves up, and we take off. While we are taking off, no one of course is supposed to stand up because it's a security issue. We are overheating once again. Let's take... My love, my camera is complaining I've been talking for too long. So yeah, so with all that said, we go on a flight and then we get to the destination. We let the passengers go out, and then we of course get off the aircraft last. as we get off, the cleaning staff comes in to clean the flight for the next crew and for the next passengers. For us, we go straight into the bus. From the bus, we go to the hotel. Then the hotel, we are assigned our hotel rooms, and then from there we enjoy the destination or the place. And then when it's time for a flight, we do all of that all over again, but this time around we're going back to base. And when you get home, sometimes you go straight on to the next flight, sometimes you have a day off, and that is a day of a cabin crew. And honestly, if you are considering to become a cabin crew, I say go for it. It's a lovely way of travel, of knowing different country. You travel for free, you meet different people, you get to know about different cultures, and you make a lot of money. I mean, if you're working for business class or first class, your flying hours are longer because those flights are mostly long haul. So you make nice money. You can literally make like 85K per month, tax free. So that's a nice way of starting your career. So I wish you all the best, and let's talk down into the comment section. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share with your friends and family. If you liked what I presented to you, please click the subscribe button, and let's engage down in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next video. Love you lots, my love, my sanas.